Now it's time for Taking the Mic. Now, there may well be a total eclipse of the sun tonight, as you've seen, but it feels more and more like we are living in an increasingly mad world where there has been a total eclipse of common sense. Never mind the madness of the Middle East, don't mention the craziness of what's happening north of the border, and disregard the nonsense of the Westminster bubble. This country is drowning in a sea of red tape, and most of it is wrapped around driving a car by our local councils. We are constantly hearing about how cash-strapped our local authorities are, how they have been hopelessly incapable of making ends meet, how some of them have already been forced to enter bankruptcy, and how many others will follow. They complain they don't have enough money to pay for social care. They say they have no money for education and that they don't have any other choice than to raise your council tax to simply stay afloat economically. What they never mention, though, is the true cost of all the salaries they're paying, all the pensions they're funding for those employees, and the vast sums of money they are adding to the bill in the name of diversity and inclusion. You will not be surprised to learn that all of that costs an awful lot of money. But wait, what's that on the horizon? Could it be a cash cow coming over the hill? That's right, it's the good old beleaguered car driver. And if you're one of them, you will know that it's getting harder and harder to keep your car on the road without paying hundreds of extra pounds per year for it. Whether it's low emission zones, congestion charges, parking fines, or more road tax, more and more people are finding it harder and harder to keep their cars on the road. Now it appears that we have been right all along in the independent republic, but that will come as no surprise. Figures released this week show that motorists are already paying £2 billion a year to park their cars in council-run spaces, and those charges are set to rise yet again. The figures come from the Department of Levelling Up for 2023, which show a rise in over £200,000 from the previous year. And it gets worse. Many councils are going to put their fees up by 60% for this year, and they're going to force drivers to download apps to pay for them rather than having pay and display bays, which are favoured by older car owners. In London, there's already a consultation underway to increase parking penalty fines from £160 to God knows what. Apparently that's not enough to dissuade people from driving. Well, guess what? There's a reason people keep driving in. It's because they have to. Today, there was yet another train strike, which meant commuters had either no choice but to get a car or stay home. I've just got one question. What the hell are they doing with all that money?